Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Ordinal ecosystem, Bitcoin, everything. What's up, guys? We have a really special show for you guys today. It's a live. We are live for the first time in a long time. We have gone live. It's going to be me and Yago B. We're going to be checking things out, looking at things all over the place. If you guys have any questions or anything, pop it in there. We'll answer them. And at the end, if we can't get to them quickly while we're going through stuff, we will definitely get to them at the end to get you guys everything you guys need. We appreciate every view, everyone watching. But let's get the show started. Without further ado, let me bring in my partner, as always, Mr. Agobi. What's up, buddy?
What is up? What is up?
We are live, bro. Live.
Yeah, we haven't done a live in a very long time, man.
We used to do lives all the time. Like
Yeah,
every episode
that
was
was
live.
actually that's all we did.
I know.
Remember? We didn't
Yep.
start doing pre-recorded until we came over to Ordinals. So,
Yep.
yeah, I think it's just gonna. It feels a little weird right now, but like,
Yeah.
eventually, because we're planning on doing lives throughout the week in the future. So I think it's good to kind of get them going a little bit, so we can get back
Yep.
in the flow of things.
Yeah, get a little practice in. For a little rusty guys, we used to be able to edit things out and things like that. But yeah, so let's get right into it.
Yeah, man. So, the big deal tomorrow is the BRC20 swap release schedule, right?
Yep.
So there was supposed to be mainnet is actually supposed to be released tomorrow, which is the 18th of October. We know that Unisat likes to kind of string things out a little bit, and so what they'll do is kind of tweet a post that day and then say, hey, we're going to delay it for a little bit. So
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm kind of expecting that. It's almost kind of like building up this hype to just let us down. But because there's a lot of pent up demand for the swap,
Yeah.
right? And so nevertheless, I do feel like no matter what, they will have it released by the 25th.
Yeah. You can definitely tell that you've been hit by the bear market because that's such a bear market thing to say. I'm expecting it to be delayed. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's just something we've been hit with so often, right? It's like nothing ever goes right. Nothing ever goes our way. It's always like we're always expecting the worst, but like hoping for the best. It's crazy.
Yeah. And I think you just kind of learn too with
Yeah.
certain entities or groups. And I'm not saying that Unisat is just like always does this and they always like mess. No, I mean they
Yeah.
provided a great platform for a long time for what are the limitations that Ordinals and BRC20 had, but now it's like we've been waiting for the swap for so long, and I'm okay for it to
Yeah.
not go live tomorrow because I
Yeah.
know that at least by the 25th we're gonna have something. So it's gonna be interesting if the first phase of mainnet goes live tomorrow. I'm gonna be looking on Twitter like all day just to see what people are saying about these liquidity pools they're putting together. Because I checked testnet today before we jumped
Yeah.
on this live, and there's still no like staking capability on there.
Okay.
So I don't know what that's going to look like, right?
Well, I mean, I doubt they're gonna give us all the features right away, right? Giving us everything right away will kind of just like it's like it's kind of asking for it. It's like let's just see if the swap and LP works first. You know what I mean? That works, then we'll add something, then we'll add something. Because the worst possible thing that could happen is them to go live and then them to take it down. That is the absolute worst. I'd rather wait like 2-3 more weeks or either another month if that's going to happen, because that delay would just suck out all the momentum that they have going into this.
I mean, have you ever seen a Dex do that?
Yes. Not
Really?
yet. I've seen it. I've seen it happen with a couple things on Phantom. Like when I think it was Spirit Swap when they first went live. They got so much attention that they went down. Their UI couldn't handle it, and then it just wiped out so much demand that people just went to Spooky Swap instead.
But
So like
how long was it down for?
it was down for like 24 hours, but that was enough to really take away a lot of the like people just didn't want to mess with it anymore
Momentum.
because a
Yeah.
lot of the momentum went away and stuff like that. And I mean, it's like and like what's some projects that happened recently, like DB Zen over on the Zen ecosystem. They put out their Zen NFTs and then they found the bug and they had to take it down for 2 weeks. And then 2 weeks later, nobody really wanted the momentum was gone.
Yeah,
It's like
I think 2 weeks is too long though. Like
Yeah.
if they pull back and say, hey, there's a bug or there's an attack or something, and it lasts for like 10 hours, even up to 24 hours, I think that's okay. Obviously,
Yeah.
right off the bat, that would suck. But I think more than anything, it's just gonna be like, okay, if they just do have the swap capability, that's gonna be awesome. But like you can't really have LP without like an APR there, right? Because
I
like
agree.
why
Yeah.
would I, put my tokens up if I don't know what I'm getting back? I'm not just gonna provide liquidity so everybody can just
Yeah.
pull liquidity out and leave, right?
Yeah,
So
man.
yeah, so let's kind of start off with that. I'm gonna pull up the
I'm gonna do a quick shout out. We got DJ Blackwell in the comments. We got Legos the lifer in the comments. What's up,
hey, my
guys?
boy Lego. What up? What up? That's my homie, man. We go far back in terms of crypto and DeFi.
Yeah.
Back to the
We got
Chronos days.
Chronos days. It's
Yeah.
funny that you were such a big in Chronos and I was so big in Phantom, and it was like we did the same shit. We lost the same amount of money, just in different chains.
Well, I think that's like our tuition, right?
Yeah.
Even
Yep.
like my buddy Legos, we talked about it too. Like that was our tuition time. Like we learned through
Yeah.
that process. But it's like, okay, we've been through that. Like, fool me once, shame on you, and then fool me twice, shame on me, right? Like, cause
Yeah.
and so like that's what we're in right now though is so different because
I
like
agree.
over there, like Chronos or Phantom, the same shit was happening, right?
Yep.
Like it didn't matter. It
Yep.
was all EVM. You're talking about like tomb forks. You're talking about
Yep.
like, all these like DeFi staking mechanisms, like
It
10
was so
different
much
websites,
fun.
10
It was
different
so much fun.
websites that like would start off with like 200,000 APR, freaking, you flip real quick and then you make your money. But yeah, so
Yeah.
what we have over here is different because it's actually
It
a
is.
different like type of a
100%.
technology approach to everything, right?
Yep.
So but yeah, so let's get into the
One,
Medium
one last
article.
one last shout out. Thoth, with my man Thoth Atomicals. What's up, buddy? Oh, God. Sorry, didn't want to interrupt you, but I didn't want to leave him out.
You're good, you're good. So like this is the Medium article that pretty much everybody's seen. 2023 BRC20 swap release schedule. So I'm not going to jump into it too deep because I just want to get to really what it says for the dates, right? So it says mainnet launch schedule. Unisat plans to roll out the mainnet version of BRC20 swap according to the following schedule, starting from October 18th, which is tomorrow. Unisat or today, depending on where you are. Unisat plans to gradually distribute commemorative inscriptions called BRC20 swap prime access to the community. So that is the schedule. That's what's planned. But we'll see if that, they follow through with that. And then it says on October 25th, Unisat will launch their mainnet version of the BRC20 swap. So this is going to be more open to, I think, like a lot more people. I wouldn't be surprised if they just like, if everything goes well from the 18th to the 25th, they're just like, you know what? We're just going to open the floodgates.
So, so are you thinking more they're going to allow more people to have this ordinal that is token gated, or do you think that on the 25th they're going to open up to the public? Because I assumed that 25th was opening to the public, but now after you just reading that to me, I feel like it's going to be token gated as well on the 25th.
If you keep reading it, it does say, during the initial mainnet launch, we will continue to distribute prime access for free. So like you don't have to like purchase it on secondary. Yeah. They're just gonna start doing it, I guess, in phases. This is kind of something I don't really like the way they communicated this, because I feel like it's not clear cut. But the two things that we do know that's clear cut is that they intended to start opening the access to the mainnet tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or is it they're gonna start distributing the prime access tomorrow? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I read that wrong. Yeah, it looks like they're gonna distribute the passes tomorrow, and then on the 25th maybe is when they open it.
Oh,
that makes sense. Okay, yeah,
that sucks. So no swap open tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe not. Probably not. Yeah, I think that it's going to be the 25th. But regardless, at least they start to communicate again tomorrow is what it seems like. And then you can see like the service fees are 0.3%, which is typical. I think they grabbed it directly from Uniswap. Like they basically followed the fee structure.
Yeah.
And then we already know like they're going to use sats for the fees, right? So we don't have to get on to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's exciting. I know there's a lot of different stuff happening, in the Bitcoin ecosystem space, the DeFi space stuff, like with atomicals and pipe and stuff like that. So this is just something that I feel like BRC20 is just ahead of everybody, and so that's why this is going to be the first swap, right? So
yeah. Does it surprise you that a lot of people don't know what's going on yet? Like I've been in a few spaces today, and even a YouTube live with the Ninja Alerts, and they didn't know that the Unisat swap was coming next week. Like, and does that surprise you that people really don't know the Sats will be their fee token and stuff like that, or is that just like us being into it? Like to me, it was really surprising.
no, it did surprise me a lot at first because I did notice that too. But then I started thinking about like the people that weren't like talking about it, and they're really focused in on what they're doing, right? And
Okay.
like for example, like the Trevor Owens, he probably knows about it, but like he's never been a big BRC20 guy. You know what I mean?
No.
Like he's never been a big BRC20 guy. So like when runes came up, I felt like he was just trying to take advantage of that situation. They got Ordinal's wallet on the show, and then Ordinal's wallet charged everybody $20. But you remember that, anyways. And so I think people get locked into what they're doing. You know what I mean? In their projects and their communities that they follow. But like you and I, we have to cover the entire space.
Yeah, yeah. We have to know. We have to be in the know. That's the only way we can kind of like be true to ourselves and be able to do this every couple of days like we do. So
exactly. So that's why I think we get a little bit of an upper hand. But I know there's tons of people out there that do know about it. There's just probably a good amount that still are just learning about it.
Yeah.
So
sounds good.
Yeah, we're excited about that. But let's move on to the next thing because I think this is a really big, kind of a really big news headline for ordinals in general, and it was on CoinDesk. It actually made it to CoinDesk, and it is Bitcoin Magazine owner backs the first ordinals fund, which bought $85,000 rock. So obviously, he's talking about the Bitcoin rocks. This title could have been written much better.
I know. Pet $85,000 pet rock, but this is insane. But what it's not saying is that pet rock is inscription number 120.
Yeah.
Right. Which
exactly.
is huge, which is absolutely insane. If like that, it doesn't matter if it's a rock or a freaking, I don't know, anything really, right? So it's just like that is why inscription 120 is legendary, and having something that's legendary and keeping it forever. And it doesn't sound like this is something that they're going to flip. Being Bitcoin Magazine, being the owner of Bitcoin Magazine, having something like inscription number 120 is absolutely huge.
Yeah, I mean, it is big, and I'm going to read the rest of this article. It's not very long, but one really cool thing is the narratives in ordinals are actually really strong. Yeah. If you think about it, like we've gone over them on our show, and what they try to do here is they try to combine them all into this fund, and I'll keep reading here. So it says the Unbroken Chain Fund, as it is known, plans to raise $5 million from its limited partners and will trade in various ordinals types, including BRC20 tokens, sometimes positioned as NFTs on Bitcoin. Already, the new group has bought an image of a rock for about $85,000. And then it goes into a new fund backed by the owner of Bitcoin Magazine plans to raise $5 million to actively trade ordinals and inscriptions at the core of the NFTs on Bitcoin mania that created buzz and congestion earlier this year on the oldest and largest blockchain. The fund, Unbroken Chain, will be led by Asher Corson, portfolio manager at Consolidated Trading, according to a press release. General partners include UTXO Management and the fund arm of Bitcoin Magazine owner Bitcoin Inc., and Isabel Foxen Duke, the former communications director of Ordinal's creator Casey Werdemer.
So really quickly, so what would the former communications director for Casey Werdemer do? Like what kind of job is that? Like how?
I mean, PR.
Okay.
basically. Yeah,
Okay.
you know, like basically getting messages out and stuff, and I feel like he probably needed. I don't. Is Aaron that person now? Who
I
is
hope not.
like, you know what I mean? So like, you probably need to find a new one. Um,
Yeah.
and then it continues on. That says the new fund claims to be the first managed funds to actively trade ordinals and inscriptions, including BRC20s tokens, a category whose name flicks at the ubiquitous ERC20 tokens on Ethereum. Anonymous BRC20 creator Domo is also backing the Unbroken Chain Fund. So,
Okay.
yeah, so like Bitcoin Magazine is a big deal. You know, they
Yeah.
host the Bitcoin convention every year, right? They're the logistics behind it.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's backing this fund, and in this fund has early inscriptions, has BRC20s,
Yep.
and I want to say, like, I read somewhere else that they're also including rare sats in this
Yeah.
fund.
Yeah.
You
I,
know,
I I saw that too.
so I mean, to me, this is a big deal because what people were saying on Twitter today in the Ordinals community was that this can kickstart the institutional investments for Ordinals, the
Yep.
Ordinal space.
Yeah, and you're definitely gonna see that. Like, you're gonna see a lot of profit. Like when this ETF goes through, you're gonna see a lot of Bitcoin holders in profit. And a lot of times when people are in profit, they see it as house money. And when they see it as house money, they're okay. That becomes money that they're okay to lose because they never really had it in the first place. So for them to take, I don't know, point 0.3 of a Bitcoin and then start investing in things that'll get the blood flowing, right? And then they see those investments go up because you're going to see a lot of people in profit doing that. You might see this market do a few X's really quickly and then just kind of like torpedo because there's not a lot of things to invest in. Like we think there's a lot of things to invest in because we see everything, but like there's only so many actual investable things here, right? Like Sats, BRC20s, and ordinals. There's not obviously you can branch out the ARC like ARC20s and stuff like that in the beginning, but that stuff's so like BRC20s and ordinals they're time tested already. They're 9 months in. Stuff you know what Benny's building with pipe and with A's building with ARC20s and runes and stuff. It's not time tested yet. So for these bigger guys to get in, for us to get in, it's no problem for us. But for these bigger guys to get in, they're probably going to get in stuff that's time tested, like BRC20s, rare sats, and ordinals.
100%. I agree with you. You know, the atomicals and pipe and all that other stuff, that's just kind of there's speculation, right? Like I do feel like atomicals has a lot like more in terms of infrastructure that
Yeah.
we've learned about than the
Yes.
other, but like um people aren't going to put big money up
Yet.
unless it's been, like you said, tested a bit, and all the narratives go strong with ordinals.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
when you said, you know, there's not a ton to invest in, actually, so it's more of like the entire crypto industry, right? That
Yeah.
liquidity is not like flowing like it was before. And so like, even if like, let's say, even with the swap, like let's say the swap like does really well,
Yeah.
um, usually there has to be like Bitcoin has to go up to a certain level, and then like people take those profits and then they dump
Yes.
them, like how meme coin season was a couple months ago,
Exactly.
right? Like
Exactly.
when Pepe took off, it was after Bitcoin had went up and people took their profit and was like, okay, you know, they took their profit from Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then they started dumping them in Pepe and
Exactly.
all this other stuff. So,
Yep.
you know, we really need Bitcoin to kind of shoot up first. I would say probably get to like 33, 35 at least. And
So you're
then,
saying we need the ETF. We need the ETF to go and then everything starts flowing.
yeah,
Because
but
you saw what it did in a matter of 15 minutes. It went from 27K to 30K in a matter of 15 minutes. Imagine a matter of 15 days.
yeah, that was a good test too. You know, and so I think that a lot of people kind of realize that, hey, and that was just the first like part of the news to where like things didn't even get a chance to get bullish throughout the day or the next day. You know, it was just kind of like, oh wow, like the ETF's approved and it shot up, and then like fake news, and then you know just dumped down.
Yeah.
But once there's like back to back approvals and stuff, I think that, you know, that will definitely shoot a bunch of energy into the space. But who knows, that could go until the end of the year. I think Fidelity got denied and the other one got denied today.
Well, no, Fidelity actually came back with so SEC actually gave Fidelity notes to correct, and they came back and corrected those notes, and they actually handed it in back in today.
Okay, that's so crazy. It's like a teacher. It's
It,
like,
I mean, it's like, hey, fix this, and hand this back to me Monday. It's like, you
yeah,
know what I mean? It's like it is, but at the same time, it shows you that it might not be Gary Gensler, but someone in the SEC is working with these funds.
yeah.
So
For sure. And back to the point with like the ordinal ecosystem, like with these investors, I think like it's
100%.
small right now. It's like 5 million. And I think they're starting with like 1.5 million. You can see here with initial assets that included the Bitcoin rock. And then also let's see, there were some other investments that I think BRC20s as well. So 1.5 million is kind of where they're starting because they know that like right now it's not like a smart time to like do like 10, 20 million, 30 million because people are looking for liquidity to just to grab, right?
Yeah. Yeah, as soon as that money comes in, it's gonna go out in someone else's. But that's because we're just in a PvP market right now, player versus player. And I feel like once we need people to start thinking more long term. And I don't think that happens until more liquidity enters. So like less PvP. But yeah, you're 100% right.
Yeah. So, I mean, to me, this is exciting news. I feel like I really hope that this, you know, it could be looked at as like a negative because people could be like, okay, this could attract like venture capitalists and they never really have good intentions for like the ecosystem, right? They don't have the passion. It's more about like they want to make sure that they make their money back in, as quick as possible.
Yep.
But what are your thoughts on that?
On what exactly?
Like this could start like this, like, okay,
Oh,
institutional investors are coming in and then
yeah.
like VCs are like, oh, there's money's coming over there, this is going to start growing, and then basically the sharks come.
Yeah, so what I mean, it's monkey see, monkey do, right? So once one person comes over and they plant their flag, you're gonna have a lot of other VCs like maybe like they're looking right now. They might be hiring like because it seems like to me like they usually have a section like this person that runs this part of the fund is usually Ethereum, and then they'll hire someone who is strictly like ordinals, right? And I feel like right now that like they're all looking, they're all watching, but I don't think they're planting their flag yet. But we just seen today, Unbroken Capital, Unbroken Chain basically came in and planted their flag, and now you're going to see more people. But you got to remember too, BTC's startup fund is already here.
Yeah,
Their
that's
their
true.
their 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 flag's been planted since before ordinals existed. So I think Unbroken Chain, they were probably already looking at like stacks and stuff like that, but then um and then they might have started looking at it back in June, but then ordinals died, right? So every
Yeah.
ordinals were dead for. I mean, it was amazing for me and you. We loved every second of it because we're getting things very real cheap, but it seems like the momentum really shot out and you saw less people coming, less people looking, less people trying to start to like plant their flag. And now we're seeing a resurgence because of the swap that's coming in the next week or two. And that's why um, you know, Unbroken Chain is planting their flag. So
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe this has been stewing for a while, and maybe they met up in Singapore or
yeah.
whatever, and they decided to get this started and get things rolling. But I don't know. The fact that the Bitcoin Magazine owner's behind it, he's been bullish about ordinals since like the Bitcoin convention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there was all the maxis there that if you remember
Yep.
like with Greg Foss and the laser eyes being so mad that there was
Yep.
a bunch of wizard costumes dancing around and all that stuff, but Bitcoin Magazine's response to it was like, we love this energy.
Yep.
We love the energy that ordinals has brought into
Yep.
the Bitcoin ecosystem, and so this is just kind of I guess them following up with that. So pretty
Yeah. And
cool.
like and to your point, we talked about that yesterday, right? When we're in our video about how uh Bitcoin, I just want to show this real quick for anyone that hasn't seen it yet. But
The total value.
yeah, hold on 1 second. Share screen. I'm gonna pop your screen down just for a second. Yeah, so we looked at it yesterday. Hunter's only $151 million in the Lightning Network, right? $26 million in Thorchain. Like there's nothing in Bitcoin right now, right?
It looks
So
worse when you go out though. When you go into the main like chain versus chain,
oh yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
because you look at the total value locked with Bitcoin in this, for everybody listening, this is Bitcoin's ecosystem, not the liquidity that lives on like the total liquidity of
Yeah.
Bitcoin's
This
obviously,
is
or
locked. This
market
is
cap is,
TVL.
yeah. So what is it?
It's
180. Last time we checked, it was 188 million right there. It's right there. That first white number
yeah,
right
right
there.
here. Okay.
So 188 million. It's ranked number 12 behind Kava, Kronos, which was like the last DeFi chain. And I mean, I was
Yep.
there. It was fun, but like everybody got their liquidity sucked out after the Luna thing.
Yep.
And I mean, it's just kind of embarrassing that like Bitcoin till this day is number 12 in total value locked,
Yep.
but hopefully that changes.
And I'm still confident in the next 90 days we will be top 5. We will be right behind Polygon, if not past Polygon in TVL. I 100% think that. I just think there's so much coming in the next. You got to remember too, like that counts for like atomicals, like stuff that's locked up over there. That counts for runes. That's
Yeah,
potential
but
stuff there.
once they start
Ordinals.
counting it, though, you know what I mean? Because like,
I think that it happens pretty quickly. I think
well, I
Unisat
mean,
will probably be counted like a day or two after.
ordinals isn't like
There's
counted
nothing
in the.
locked. There's nothing, no value locked.
So that's why, like, will this $1 or $5 million fund go towards that?
It so that 5 million. I'm sure they're gonna lock. They're gonna lock
It
the
has to
yield.
be a protocol, right? I think it
It
has to
has
be
to
a.
be something locked in. It has to be something earning yield or something locked up for whatever reason. Like all this money that's right here, it's total value locked. So this is locked somewhere.
Yeah.
Potentially a lot of it is liquid still, because a lot of times you can unstake it pretty quickly and get it back onto the market, and that's why these numbers change so quickly. But for this number to go up, this 188, it needs to be total value locked. So once there's a liquidity pool with, let's just say there's $1 million in sats and $1 million in, I don't know, track, that right there is $2 million added to this number right there. And that's just one pair.
So I think that's going to be the most interesting thing, because now that I think about it, every time I've been a part of a new DEX that starts, those liquidity pools, if it has any momentum, any marketing, those liquidity pools market total value jump up pretty quick.
Very quick.
So I think you do have a good point there, because I wasn't thinking about that. Like, even the smaller ones, usually the main liquidity pair, like Ethereum and whatever that DEX token is,
Yeah.
would get to 1 million pretty quick. You know what I mean?
Easily.
And
For
so
each one. I can see like half a sats overall having to be locked up, right? And sats right now is a $30 million token, right? If you add
yeah,
it all up, it's like 30 million. I can see $15 million getting locked up day one. And
$15 million.
I do, because I really do, because we got to think that's every single pair. That's pairing with OXBT. That's pairing with Track. That's pairing with. You're gonna see Sats paired with every single token because it's the most
Well,
liquid token.
every
It's
token that someone wants to trade, right? Like, so if you think about it, yeah, like Track is a popular one. You have enough people that will want to do that. You have
yes.
enough people that will want to do OXBT, because we've seen
Yep.
OXBT jump up like 20%, 30% in
Yep.
the last 2 days. What
Honk.
else though? Ordi for sure. Ordi for
Yep.
sure.
Honk.
But Honk, yeah, but like
I'm
really that.
locking up my honk and Sats.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but like, how much liquidity is that gonna be, right?
It's
Like, I'm not
it's
saying
a couple hundred
you have,
bucks,
yeah,
but
you know what I mean. But like,
yeah.
a couple $100, you got to have a lot of people that's gonna have a couple $100, for it to start
I
adding up.
mean, there's a lot of holders, right? Of Sats is
I I
so
think I think we'll know if degens are here, like people that like have like the degen
yeah,
whales, if they come over, if those like meme token liquidity pools start to jump up, then we're like, oh crap, we're about to see some volume.
yeah,
But if not, then it's gonna be like $1,000 in honk and
yeah.
sats, and
Well,
you know,
that money, that 5 million, potentially, let's just say 2 million of that go to BRC20s, because again, we just said there's not a lot of things to invest in. So let's just say they put about 40% or 30% of that 5 million in the BRC20s. That alone is $3 million added to this. That takes us to 91 just from one fund. You know what I mean? So, and I'm giving it 90 days. Like, I think that you're going to see a lot more funds, and who knows what BTC like BTC startups going to do. They're probably going to add liquidity. Like they're players in this game. You know what I mean? There's a lot of whales in here too that are sitting on a lot of BTC
I mean, I think Unisat's going to add the most liquidity. If even if
easily. They
if
have
even
to.
if it's not Unisat, yeah, because this has to be a success for them, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Because if it's not a success and the volume sucks, then do they hang around still? I don't think that's even an option in their mind.
No, it's
It's
not.
like, okay, we've raised this much money before we
Yeah.
built this swap. Let's allocate a certain amount to make our liquidity pools look
Yep.
good, look strong, look
Yep.
stable. We want people to be confident when they're trading.
Yep.
And then we'll
And you got to
see.
think too, if they invest in a lot of these tokens, a lot of these tokens are going to 5-10x. They 5-10x their money. Let's just say they put 5 million of the $50 million they got right from the thing, 5 million of that into the liquidity pools just to kind of keep it stuffed up, right? That potentially could become 15 million really quickly by just people hopping in and having to buy that token off the open markets, right? Because there's no more minting no more.
Yeah.
Those days are done. We benefit from that. They're not going to benefit from the new people coming over. They're not going to have that opportunity that we had. So they're going to have to buy them. They're going to buy our bags. And now doing it from a swap and not having to wait for you to go put your thing up to sell it or you to go put your thing up to buy theirs, then it's going to be so people are waiting for the swap. People are waiting to just throw money in here. And potentially they might have to take their BTC and buy sats with it, like sweep sats, just to be able to get that liquidity into the swaps to be able to do trades. So it could be insane.
One thing that really kind of makes me wonder is there's people that are saying Unisat is behind a lot of those, basically how Sats got fully minted out, right? Because
Yeah.
let's be realistic, like people like me and you and other people in the community that aren't huge whales, right? Like it would take us forever to really mint that out, right? So there was definitely like a movement behind it. There was people that were like some entity was minting that out. Let's
Yeah.
say that they own like 50, 60, 70% of the supply. It would be dumb, in my opinion, for them to like dump that like within the first year, actually. You know what
They're
I
not
mean?
going to dump it.
I
They're
know, I
going
know.
to
I'm just hear me out though. Just hear me out.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
them locking that in to like LPs and then also
Exactly.
actually paying out LP rewards, they're going to have to do that because that's what they're using Sats for. Makes the most sense, right? They're looking at this from a complete DeFi perspective.
Yep.
Like you can tell already, they've copied Uniswap with like many aspects of this. The only thing that's
Yep.
different is the things that they couldn't help, like the limitations of ERC20. That's why they created the modules. But
Yep.
everything else is very similar. Like LPs, you earn LPs 0.03 down to the fee rate. You
Yep.
know, so that's what they're trying to create because they feel like there's a big need in ordinals for that. And then also there's not a bunch of liquidity here, so it makes sense for them to make this attractive as possible for first ordinal space to get super into it, and then that will spread out into outside like the EVM chains and the Solanas and stuff like
Yep.
that, and bring those degens over.
And that's exactly my point. That's why, like I was saying, like no smart VC is dumping the 6 months before the halving. No, there's no one that's smart that's dumping right now. If
Yeah.
you have to be a complete freaking idiot to be dumping your bag
There's
6
nothing.
months
There's
before the
nothing.
freaking
There's nothing to
halving.
take really.
There's
You know what I
nothing.
mean?
It's PvP. You're just taking someone else's. It's just trading. It's just that's all it is.
Well,
It's head to
I'm
head
talking
trading.
about like Unisat. There's nothing to take even in the first like until things get like the overall market gets big.
Yeah.
So I feel like they've pretty much they've pushed their chips in for the
Yep.
swap, saying, okay, we're trying to build like get people into it, get them interested. It's not going to
Yep.
get crazy until like the overall markets get crazy. Then
Yep.
whenever it starts to take off, that's when we get our money. That's when we
Exactly.
make our money.
Yep.
But I
And
don't.
they might just be trying to actually make this as like everyone always thinks like they're gonna dump. What if that's never their intention? Obviously they're in to make money, but what if their money is in reality is just the fees? They're a service. They could make $50 million next year in the halving year just off freaking fees, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe within the first couple months, saying that they're going to dump it. I'm not saying that you did personally, but like there's other people that are saying that this is going to be a dump fest, and these guys are evil and they're trying to dump. They want to dump on everybody. What if they're not? What if they're just in it to make these fees? You know what I mean? We have a year. I mean, obviously, towards the end, they're probably going to be smart, and you're not going to want to hold shit coins going into the bear market. But I think we're 2.5 years away from that point.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And then also, like, for everybody out there, keep in mind, we're just talking about, like, we're speculating completely.
Hundred
You know,
percent,
this is none of this is financial advice. Of course, we say that a million times on our show, but you know, we are excited that there's a swap. You know, we've
hundred
been
percent.
waiting for this, but you know, we'll just kind of have to wait and see what happens. You know, there is definitely a different energy that's been re-injected into the space. I'll say that, and
Yeah,
I'm also excited about the other stuff too. You know, but
yeah,
I think people are definitely shutting the door like way too quick on BRC20s when
100%.
there's like so much happening, like
Yeah,
behind, you know, and yeah, like we know that like they're just simple JSON script code. It's not
yeah,
like they're intricate, like you can't build on them. But look, Unisat has turned Sats has given it a utility.
yep,
That's 100% fact.
yep.
So we
And
just kind of have
and
to
like
see.
obviously there's people that are just hateful of BRC20s, but like to me, they're legacy tokens, right? I've said this so many times now, but I want to keep jarring this point. These were the first tokens on Bitcoin. Like, I mean, obviously you can say colored
Well,
coins
yeah,
were and stuff like that, but these were the first ones that were actually traded and
popular.
actually,
That
yeah,
got
exactly,
popular.
like picked up pretty quickly, and there's communities built around them. Like obviously there's colored coins and stuff like that previous, but they didn't work out. There was no momentum behind them. They're not here today. I don't even know if you could trade them still today, right? But there's people like, I'm calling you out, Thoth. I'm calling Atomicals. I'm calling you out here, buddy, because you're a little bit too bearish for us. But you got to remember these are legacy tokens, just like the color coins and stuff like that. And I'm so, like I'm a huge fan of what Atomicals and stuff is doing. Don't get me wrong, but like I I I I love everything. I love everything about this space. That's why we do this every single day. We just really enjoy it, and we want every part of it to be successful. And if Unisat isn't these big demons that everyone thinks they are, and they're actually people who are just trying to create a service
Make
to
money.
create
They're I mean,
infrastructure.
they have a business model.
Well, that's fine. Their service fee is
Yeah,
fine because that's the thing too. But right now they're the only show in town, so they can charge whatever they want until there's competition. And if you don't like what they're doing, build the competition.
yeah,
They're showing right now that it's possible. They're showing right now that it's going to work. Yes, it's going to be a very centralized layer two, which doesn't really get me like going. But the fact that we're going to be able to do these swaps so quickly, and we're going to show this, if you guys stick with us for a little bit, we're actually going to show the swaps live, how fast and how like amazing it could be.
yeah. And at the same time, as much I know that like we sound super, super bullish on it, it's more of the excitement of being able to even have this type of environment. Because the whole
Yeah,
time we haven't had it. But we know that there's a possibility it doesn't work out. But there's one thing that you cannot deny, and it's that BRC20, the whole BRC20 space got to $1 billion market cap, didn't it? Because
yeah.
like already got to 500 million. Like there was no color coins didn't get close to anything like that.
No,
So that's a
nothing.
success.
Yes.
100% a success.
Yep. I completely agree. You can't. I mean, like obviously these like again, I think these are legacy tokens, and I don't think that utility is going to be like insane for them, which is fine. You know what I mean? Like the first 150 inscriptions do the same thing as these tokens, right? They do the
Yeah.
same thing, right? But it's kind of the same thing. Having a token like OXBT or having a token like Sats or something like that, or even having Ordi. That's just that's how early you were. At some point they're going to be harder to get because there is no inflation. There's no inflation with these coins. There's none. There's zero. You can't say that about any other chain. There is inflation in Bitcoin. There's inflation in Ethereum right now. It's not, they say it's ultrasound money and it's deflationary. It's not. There's 36,000 new Ethereum this week. So
Yeah.
it's just like,
Yeah, I mean, I think that is definitely a unique attribute or characteristic of BRC20 is that they're minted out once they mint out, they're all in circulation, right? Someone's
Yeah.
holding them and stuff. So, but yeah. So let's jump to the next thing real quick. I want to go over the rare stats meta. You know, a little alpha here from I guess like more of a strategy that we're like me specifically that I've found. Really, so like the whole rare stats industry is based on, if you don't know, it's based on being able to, you know, pluck out these stats that are unique. They either have an event tied to them, or they're the first in each block that's mined. Those are called uncommon sats. The palindrome sats have the sequence number read the same way forwards and backwards, so that makes those rare. But one thing that we started noticing, so I get really into the rare stats because I have a collectible background. My family's in collectibles, the hobbies for collectibles in like tangible stuff. And so this really like makes me bullish on Bitcoin ordinals because it separates ordinals from like Ethereum. Because you can put your ordinals on these rare sats. But I'm collecting these rare sats in a separate wallet, just like Virgin sats, right? But the 2009s are really, people are starting to go after these, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and I told you, I was like, look, man, 2009s, like if you try to get to where you can get to this affordable level, because like you don't want like the pizza sats or even the Silk Road sats from 2000. I mean, like you can, it still like will be more than the other rare, the Silk Road or pizza sats if you get to 2009. But like I feel like palindrome's really that sweet spot, right? Because there's 121 total in circulation, 121 million. But everybody's shooting for these 2009. So like I did a search on 2009 whenever Magic Eden first offered rare sats, I want to say like 4 days ago or 5 days ago, I started looking at palindrome 2009s. They were going for $2, $3 max.
Yeah.
I was scooping them up. Now look at the floor. You're looking at the floor. They're at 21 right now. 21 bucks. So a little alpha here. If you go over to Magisat, if you go to Magisat here, you can see that they have, if you go to Magisat and then you click on, you got to go to the categories here. We'll start from the beginning. And then you scroll down here and you click palindrome and just filter out to 2009s, right? So you'll go to from and then go January 1st, 2009. Why didn't that work? 2009, January.
Try December.
No, that worked. Okay, and then December 2009, and then 31st, and just hit apply. And look, these are like $2 right now.
Wow.
So there's a lot of them here on Magisats.
So you can take these to Magic Eden and put them up for $20.
Yeah, I mean this is a huge arbitrage situation right now.
Wow.
So this is something we're giving you guys. If you can purchase these, because the cheapest that they are on Magic Eden right now are $21 is the floor, right? So
yeah, you're not going to see that. You're going to see a lot of DJs going to grab those and pop them on Magic Eden now that you said that. But
yeah, but yeah, so that was our alpha we gave to you guys. Yeah. So know, not financial advice though, just alpha as research. I don't want to be served up one day. Some pizza guy's trying to deliver pizza to me, and he goes, "Did you order a pizza? No, you just got served." No. So this is not financial advice, but something. This is what I'm doing personally, me.
And guys, I want you to know that me and Yago be at a conversation offline, and he was debating on putting this information out there. And I told him that maybe, hey, dude, maybe you shouldn't, but he, kindness of his heart, he put this information. He could have sat there and just picked these off, but no, he's giving you guys the alpha right here. He's letting you guys front run him if needed. But if we wake up tomorrow and these are all $20, you're gonna be kicking yourself.
There's a lot though. Like Magisats has a lot, so there's a good arbitrage situation going on here. And then it jumps pretty significantly from like this right here, 0.0075, and then Yeah. So you guys know the deal. But yeah, so
Real quick,
that's go ahead.
I want to jump over these comments real quick,
Okay.
just so people that know that we're live. We have um Thoth was like, "Be careful, everyone." I guess I was talking about the BRC20s. Lego Lifer was like, "So the swaps launched today, right?" The swaps actually launched the 25th. That was my mistaking. The ordinals for the token I guess the with the ordinals for the like, to get into the swap, they start coming out tomorrow or today, and the 25th is the day that opens. Then Thoth commented, atomic swaps ARC20 is going to come like a freight train. Sign me the hell up, Thoth. I'm ready
Dude,
for it.
yeah,
Let's go.
we're bullish on atomicals. Thought, we definitely need to like dive deeper into it, but the whole bit work and proof of work that really gets me because I feel like if you're putting up CPU power to mine the tokens that you want, that's a different deal, So, um, we're definitely like Shizzy said in the beginning, we try our best not to be biased with like our bags or anything like that. We
Yeah.
put our dip our toes into everything, and ARC and atomicals are definitely the next thing that we're gonna dive straight into.
Yep, and I'm excited for that. I can't wait to get on the atomic marketplace by our friend Eric. He's really him and his team, because he's not a dev, but he's really putting that together for the atomicals. And dude, we are freaking excited. I can't. So we're actually gonna have Eric on, hopefully within the next week or two, to kind of break us through. Maybe do a quick tutorial of what's going on with that. But like we are very bullish on that, buddy. And
Yeah,
then I like this comment right here. AOD's art says, "Why don't you guys have a coin?"
because we don't
I
want
don't want
to.
to go to jail.
Yeah, the pizza guy comment that I just made. We don't want to get served. Yeah, I mean, that would be a whole nother responsibility too. But I like his
Yeah.
other comment. You guys should quit your jobs and do this full time. I know the space, and you guys should go all in. Yeah, I mean, we would love to, and hopefully that
Yeah.
we
Happens
could,
one day, but
that's the dream, right? The teamwork makes the dream work.
yeah. And I have I have kids, a wife, a mortgage, a car note. I would love to use full time, but guys, we make zero from this. We have not made a dime, and we don't plan on anytime soon. So this is what we do for fun. We're doing this because we love doing it. So
I
here's the
mean, it's
next comment.
definitely helped us too, just with our personal journeys in
Oh,
crypto
for sure.
and Bitcoin specifically. So, but yeah,
Yeah, man.
uh,
And then Thoth says, wow. And then nice bro, I guess. Okay. And Lego, your boy Lego Lifer, oh yeah, huh? And then Thoth goes, these guys provide a ton of value in the space, dominated by big influencers, even celebrities. And I've been saying that a lot on Twitter. A lot of people say like the big guys don't talk about them. That's why we're here. That is why we do this, because we want to be the voice of the underdog. We want to be the voice of you guys, the people who work 8-9 hours and then come home and do this as a passion project. That's why we do this every single day, because we want the underdogs to win. And if this information isn't out there, like we said, not many people are even know this swap is happening. Not many people know that Sats is going to be the token for that, but you guys know, because we're hoping that we can be that voice for other people as well, and that's why we do that. But
yeah, yep. And then also stuff like even atomicals or when once runes supposedly comes out, like we're gonna cover all that stuff. And the thing is, we're gonna play with it and try to learn it as quick as we can and spread
yeah,
that knowledge to everybody. But
and
yeah,
we're hoping we make the mistakes for you guys do. Like I'd rather make the mistakes and then teach you guys. So that's another reason why we do this. So
Yep. Yeah, just to kind of go over some of these other rare stats real quick. So you have Epic. So this is for the people that are new to rare stats. So Epic is like the most rare. There's only
yeah,
3 total in circulation out of 2.1 quadrillion sats. Well, eventually 2.1 quadrillion
yeah,
once all 21 million Bitcoin get mined. There's only 3 right now. And then rare is the second most rare stat. There's 403 total supply, only 157 in circulation. And then it goes to, I guess, 1-digit palindrome, maybe. I'm not sure. Let's see I think it's going to Okay, so 137 total.
Okay.
Yeah. So the uncommons though, I feel like these are in my personal opinion,
Yeah.
these are the most like affordable and upside in terms of like, popularity and stuff like
Yep.
that. So it's the first sat in every block that's mined. So we're at, what, 112,000 blocks. And then so it's gonna yeah, it's gonna just follow the total amount of blocks. So how many total
Yeah.
blocks will be fully mined out? Do you know?
Um.
I'm
So
sure
there's what?
Thoth knows that.
Yeah. 21 million coins. It's hard to say because it started with 50 and now it's gonna they keep happening. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot. But I want to real quickly. So these are about $120 each, right? 120 dollars a piece right now, and there's the same number of bitmaps as there is on common sats, right? And bitmaps are $5, right?
Yeah, yeah. So we've talked about this before, and that is why I always say that I feel like bitmaps are very, very undervalued. They're just
Way.
obviously, there's one bitmap per block, so it's the same supply as uncommons.
Yep.
But I kind of like, so yes, do I think they're extremely undervalued? Yes. Do I think that there's a reason for that? Sort of. And the reason is because there isn't an application that is forcing people to use it yet in the bitmap ecosystem, right? Like once that first application gets built out, that people are
Yeah.
like, I have to have this, I have to have access to this application. Then
Yes.
I think that's whenever like the bitmap value will be what it should be.
Yep.
It won't be undervalued anymore.
Yeah.
Um, but
Or
yeah,
the tokenizing of the bitmaps, right? Because then they become fungible, and it's a lot easier to trade fungible than it is non-fungible. So, and then, maybe like I was thinking too, I was actually wanting your opinion on this. What do you think about Unisat kind of copying Bison's idea of and then doing that themselves?
I thought about that. That's why I mean, like honestly, I hope Bison kind of speeds things up a little bit with their CK rollup environment because easily like Unisat could do that because they're
Yeah.
using rollup technology for the
Yeah.
modules, and that's what Bison Labs uses is modules with
Yeah.
so um
But
yeah.
Unisat's also been working on this since I want to say like March or April. And Jay Lee, obviously he's very knowledgeable of what's going on with ZK, what they're doing over there on Ethereum, and he's bringing that knowledge over here. But they're still 6 months behind Unisat.
From what we know, like I
Yeah,
don't know when they started to build in like the middle of the cohort because I think they had to switch directions or something.
yeah,
That's what happened. So,
hmm
but I do know that that dude like grinds all the time. Like,
yeah,
so he's probably constantly trying to figure it out. But going back to your tokenizing bitmaps, it brings another uh platform or way to take a certain amount of bitmaps out of circulation. But at the same time, it's really kind of that's a degen play, right? That's all that
yeah,
is. So you're literally just tokenizing that ordinal, but you're locking it up. So you're cutting that out of supply. But really, in my opinion, like the applications, right? And so, I always talk to Jeffrey from Recursiveverse. By the way, I need to give him a shout out because I
go
forgot
ahead.
yesterday in the video. First of all, him and his team, man, they're doing amazing stuff for Bitmap. I think that they're going to be one of the winners eventually. But he was the one that convinced you about Sats in that
He
Bitmap
was.
space, and so I wanted to give him props because even though like I was bullish about it like months ago,
Yeah,
like I couldn't get you on board with it for
I
some
know.
reason.
I just don't like meme coins. You know what I mean? Like I know they make money, but I just love things with utility. You know what I mean? Like I can't wake up and just be happy sitting on a meme coin. Like
Yeah,
now that okay, so
utility
my
now, but
opinion my opinion has changed over the last few weeks, I eventually jumped in and said, yeah, you know what? This isn't going to be a meme coin. This is going to have utility. And I think in that space with Jeffrey and really just sitting there and just actually just listening instead of always just pushing my opinion, which I do a lot. Sometimes I just need to take a step back and be like, oh, wow, yeah, you know what? These things are getting bought up really quickly. They're not buying these up as a meme coin. There's going to be something utility. And then bam, Unisat comes out and said, this is going to be our token. This is going to be our gas token.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to give him a shout out because like I
Yeah.
feel like
Jeffrey.
he's the one who got you, not me.
Yes.
But which makes me kind of sad, man. You don't trust me. Trust
No,
somebody
no,
else. No. I'm just
I
messing with
trust
you.
you. No. But the thing is, I trust you. But that's the thing. Sometimes it takes somebody from like an outside voice because we talk every day. You know, what I mean,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
we're in each other. Sometimes it's hard to when you're kind of like
You
you're
have to
kind of
hear it from
fighting
a
each
different
other with it.
perspective. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah,
Exactly. And when you hear it from multiple perspectives, it's like, all right, hold on. You know what I mean? What am I actually missing here? Right.
yeah, for
But
sure.
to Jeffrey, there's two things that Jeffrey has been bullish on for months. Two things, right? Sats and bitmaps.
Yeah.
And he was right about Sats. You know what I mean? When is bitmaps going to jump from $5 to 50?
Well, he also didn't he like his team wasn't fully like full time on bitmaps, right? And then
No.
now they kind of I think they've shifted towards being full time on bitmaps. So that's why I brought him
Well,
up anyways.
yeah. And BRC 420s. They're
Well,
spending
that's
a
a
lot of time
part
on that
that's
as well.
yeah, I guess that can kind of flow within bitmap because
Yeah.
BRC 420 is like an amazing concept to me
Yeah.
because it's a way to merge like ownership of like your digital assets, whether that's music,
Yeah.
whether that's your art, and then allow, give licensing out for other people to legally use it. So that's really cool. Anyways, yeah, so he was talking to me about we were in DMs today. He was just telling me that they're gonna have a big update here in the next week. So I'm really pulling for him and his project. I'm pulling for Chris. I'm so Chris as well. Like,
Yeah.
Bitmap Valley, we have our plots there that
Yep.
it's, the graphics and everything's amazing. So there's a lot of promise on Bitmap. So we'll just kind of have to see how that plays out, but definitely undervalued right now.
100%. And I'm continuously like not financial advice. I lose money all the time, but I do. I'm not joking. But I'm buying a lot of bitmaps, and my goal is to get 1,000, and I'm nowhere near my goal. So don't pop the price up yet. Give me some time.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, let's because we got that interview coming up
Yeah,
in a
yeah,
bit, so we can do some Q&A a little bit. So it looks like Thoth said can also use realms and colored coins to tokenize parcels. Parcels can even have a domain sub realm. So that's another thing
yeah.
is like the whole realm situation.
There's a lot, man.
And I don't want to overspeak on this because like we still have to dedicate like all
Yeah,
of Sunday to this
we do.
early Sunday morning, but just I'll touch a little bit on it and thought you can correct me if I'm wrong, but realms is a way to basically have kind of like isn't it like a DNS, like replacing DNS eventually? So it's like a domain space, and then underneath it you can have subdomains.
Yeah.
So there's
Yes.
like a parent-child aspect to this as well. So the overall goal from when we talk to A, which is the creator of Atomicals, is to eventually get rid of DNS altogether,
Yep.
and you don't have to pay an annual domain fee,
Yep.
and hosting, and you
Yep.
can just do it with your one-time purchase of your realm, right?
Yep.
So
For
that
yeah.
would be
So to God, I'm
go ahead.
sorry. Cut you off.
I was going to say that'd be pretty awesome to do that because the whole goal of crypto and DeFi and all this decentralization is to cut out the middleman. And and I've told you this before, I see the most like opportunity for that on Bitcoin over any other chain,
I agree.
Like
Yeah.
Ordinals even showed us a lot of that. Like, you know what I
Yep.
mean? And so, yeah, so we'll see what happens. But what were you going to say?
Yeah, so I just want to explain the atomicals real quick. So say if you want it like, I don't know, for instance, dot Amazon or plus for that it'll be plus Amazon, and then so that'll be your main realm, and then you'll have your subs underneath that. So it'll be like plus Amazon dot AWS, and then it can be like, and then that person will have to pay you basically a one-time royalty fee to own that sub under you, and then that you can then people can kind of keep creating. So if like Magic Eden wanted to do plus Magic Eden, and then you wanted to do plus Magic Eden Goosenals, right? Now you can have a sub under Magic Eden, which basically says if they sold that to you, then they're giving you confirmation of you're legit. So now Magic Eden could potentially have just people listing their own stuff but paying them to do so. So it's instead of using, DNS, now they're just kind of keep using it. So you can have Magic Eden plus Magic Eden dot vampires, and then have a collection of vampires, and then that could have a subdomain vampires dot like dot kids, like the kids of the vampires, and then the dogs of the vampires, and you know what I mean, and continuously do
But
that.
does
So
the
it's just like,
main realm always get a royalty?
I'm pretty sure, yes.
Okay. So yeah, we definitely need to look further into that.
Yeah,
But
we
I have heard that it is a way to kind of get rid of these other platforms to where you can almost kind of start like pop up your own mom and pop type. You know what I mean? It's like
yep,
individual, instead of
exactly.
relying on these third party entities like Magic Eden, Unisat, and all these other, you
Yeah.
can start your own type of collections and then people pay you and stuff like that. But we got definitely need to dive deeper into that.
Yeah, and we will.
Um,
We're kind of really waiting for Eric to kind of get this market going so we can kind of showcase it. And then a lot of times when we showcase things, we're learning on live,
on the
which kind of
go.
sometimes the best way to go. We want to use the tools that are being built rather than kind of stumble through it. So that's kind of reason why we haven't really dug into that yet, but we will. But I tweeted something earlier, and I kind of want to get into this before we end it. I believe that, and I want to get your opinion on this. I believe that Bitcoin is now a decentralized cloud. It's its own cloud, right? So it's basically like all these miners are given this basically their power, and they are AWS's biggest competitor in the entire world, right? And like, do you feel that way too? Like I was thinking about
I
that, and
never ever
I was
thought
kind of
about it
blown
like
away.
that before I came to Ordinals, but like
Yeah,
after I came to Ordinals, 100%, like I
yeah,
started thinking that way because, and it's like it's almost kind of like how much was like Microsoft and AWS and Apple like ripping us off, like giving us this little storage of
yep.
cloud space while like we can just do whatever we want, like inscribe whatever we want on
For
Bitcoin
two
or
bucks.
yeah, for a cheap amount. Now, I think what's going to get interesting. So, first of all, do I agree with you? Yes, I don't know if technically that's the right take like all the way because I just don't know the technicals like in terms of
Yeah,
that. But it sounds right, and I will say that like it's going to get interesting once people put like build intricate applications, right?
yeah,
On Bitcoin. So, for example, like we talked about recursion, and I've always been a fan of recursion. I said, okay, can you create like an actual intricate application using recursion? Because the problem was the limited space to be able to inscribe, right? But whenever you
yep.
use recursion, you that space doesn't become a problem. But then can you pull all of these other inscriptions together to create like an intricate application? I don't know if that's possible, but it sounds like Thos says yes, it is. He said it 3 times. So, uh,
But like
shout out.
on the other hand of that, you go.
I was gonna say shout out to Varying Viewpoint. What's up, my man? Good morning, GM.
Yeah, he's always in our comments, man. We appreciate you varying, man. I try to get back to you as much as I possibly can, but I just want to show you love right now, buddy. You commenting every single video means so much to us, man. So much to us, and we appreciate you.
For sure.
But yeah, so what I meant to say, so like I was thinking too is just like I think we talked about this. We talked about this before, but basically, if somebody wanted to like drop something about like, I don't know, like a laptop from a president's son or something, right? Or information from that, instead of going it to like a newspaper or something, inscribing it in the Bitcoin, 10 minutes later, that's there forever. There's no taking it out. That inscription number 35,473 is there forever, and there's nothing nobody can do about it after that 10 minutes goes through, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a blessing or a curse, because then it's going to get real. People are going to get really pissed off. But not many people really know about ordinals yet, and once they do, we might see some really classified documents hitting an inscription number really quickly.
But how can you verify? You know what I
You're gonna
mean?
be verified by the how pissed off they get.
Yeah, but I mean,
How hard they come at Bitcoin. That's how
I
you know how true it
yeah,
is.
yeah. So one thing, first of all, I think I'll get into that a little bit. So one thing for sure is it's an option for whistleblowers like Eric Snowden, right?
Yep.
Or other whistleblowers, whoever that just want to remain anonymous and
Yep.
just put that out there. But I like we're still gonna have to go through the fact checking process and stuff. Like right now, there's cool stuff out there.
Yeah.
That people are putting, like, I think the Cypherpunks, what is it called? Manifesto. That's
Yeah.
really cool, right? Like
Yep.
we know that's legit because, like, why
Yep.
would they fake that? You know what I mean? And stuff like that, or people putting like the Bible on there, or they're putting like the Constitution on there.
Yep.
That's really cool stuff. But
Yeah.
when it comes to like actual like bombshell information that can be like really detrimental to politicians and stuff, I think that's where it's going to be tough, you know?
Well, I don't think so, because let's just say they put it they inscribe it on Bitcoin and then give it to the newspapers. The newspapers completely shut it down. They like destroy it. The guy gets arrested. Boom, and then
That
it
is
says
true.
inscription number
Yeah,
35,777,456. And you're like, what the fuck does that mean? But you write it down and then you run the like one of the order things and you type it in and then it pops up. And you're
yeah.
like, wow, they put this guy in jail for this. It must be legit, right?
Yeah, that's true. But like
They had him
the
murdered for this.
whole point to inscribe
Yeah.
those to remain anonymous. You definitely don't want them to find out. You know what I mean?
But if it's
Because
something that potentially you're worried about that getting taken from you or ripped up or destroyed,
yeah,
you just minting it, no one's really gonna see it until you start telling people.
100%. So like if it's something that like they're already after you, like
Yeah,
and you're on the run, 100%. You just inscribe it like, I'm on the
done.
run. I'm gonna be in jail. This is what they're doing. So,
Yeah, exactly.
but
And yeah, to like, yeah, but
I was
we
gonna
got a lot
say,
of we got
yeah,
Ernesto.
Matty Verse, what up, what up? And
What's up,
then
Matty?
Mr. Yago B, what's up,
Yeah,
Ernesto?
Ernesto Gonzalez with the Mr. Yeah, okay, right. As always, Mr. Yagobi.
Like we have an entrance because of you, man. We appreciate you, brother. We appreciate you. Um,
All
but
right, guys, we appreciate you guys watching live, commenting, run through everybody because you all really mean a lot to us. Jump all the way back to Ernesto. We got ZWH Melican. We got DJ Blackwell. We got Legos for Lifer. Legos the Lifer. We got Thoth again. Thoth, man, you mean so much to us, dude. We appreciate you. Legos again. I don't want to miss anybody. AOD Art. Thank you, sir. And I think Varying Viewpoint, Matty Verse,
what up? What up? We got Cindy
and
Blue.
Cindy Blue.
Shout out to Cindy Blue.
Appreciate you, Cindy.
Appreciate it. And then Thoth actually just brought up something. Bit VM. So I was in that space. We'll end it on this. Sorry, I didn't want to. I
Yeah.
know we
No,
gotta
dude,
go, but like
we're good. We're good.
yeah.
We got
So
17 people watching. That's
yeah, the Bit VM, like Bit Virtual Machine is what it stands for, right?
yeah.
And that was an interesting space earlier. I think Robin is his name, the guy that wrote the white paper for it. Yeah. So there's a lot of people that were talking about like the capabilities, right? With BitVM. He
Yeah.
said that his main objective is to create a bridge, though, to be able to like bridge out in and out from Bitcoin,
Yeah.
to be able to, layer 2 stuff, build more intricate applications, dApps and stuff like that. But I think it's called like is it called like the cat op or something like cat op or something?
Yeah.
And
I was
it's a,
getting confused.
yeah, no. So that's like supposedly if we have the capability to have access to that with BitVM, then you open the floodgates to like everything that Ethereum can have, right? And so but I think that might take like a core update
Yeah.
or something.
I think we have to reach out to the BitVM guy.
Get him
What was
on.
his name? What was his name? I can't remember
Robin
his name. Robin. Yeah.
Linklist or Ling something. But
We got to reach out to him because I think we need to know more about this, and without
yeah,
but yeah,
speaking on something. But yeah, so definitely we're gonna research that too. Appreciate that, Thoth, because we're gonna talk about BitVM on our next show.
yeah, definitely.
We'll get into that.
I got to dig deeper. Bob Bodley has a really good article that I started, but I never got a chance to finish. So I'm gonna finish that tomorrow, so that way maybe we'll talk about it on our weekend update.
Let's do it.
Yep. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys. We actually have an interview coming up in about 50 minutes with some really good people. We'll have that video out probably with the next couple days. And remember, we have our spaces this Saturday. Please attend that. It's all about Bitcoin builders and building on Bitcoin and really bringing them to you so you guys can ask your questions. You have anything like that. Remember, everything we talk about is not financial advice, guys. We lose. I personally lose money. Don't do anything that I say. We're just trying to give you our opinions on the stuff that we research every single day.
Yeah, exactly. So 8 a.m. Eastern, Saturday morning spaces, and then the weekly update will be dropped tomorrow.
Weekly? Oh yeah, we have the weekly update tomorrow.
Yep.
So yeah, because I totally forgot. I thought yesterday was a weekly update, but that was an emergency.
Got so much news lately in the space. So, all right.
Yeah,
Well,
man.
we appreciate you guys, and we'll check y'all later.
See you guys. Peace.
Peace.